Morning, welcome back to the channel, and what a week it's been last week. So if you remember in the last video I mentioned about the rat situation and putting loads of poison blocks down and then taking lots of poison blocks. Well, I haven't took any more, they've all just stayed there, and I actually worked away all of last week as well, so when I got back all the blocks are still there, other than being a little bit broken up because of the crappy weather we've got, which was quite fun. We was in Kent for a whole week. We stayed at a lovely place and then was on a fruit farm on a roof doing a 150 panel solar install, which didn't go too well because we had a snow day, so we stayed in the digs all day long, which for me is boring. I'm not a person to sit around. Everyone else quite happy watching TV and stuff and some series on Netflix on their iPads, and I was just pacing around. So next day I went to work. I had a little accident at work. Don't know how it happened, but I managed to screw a screw into my finger, which kind of didn't really hurt, but it did. I mean, it's like a little hole there now. It's a little bit tender, but my initial reaction was to just unscrew it with a drill back out. But I didn't do that at all. What I did do is actually like just manually turn it back out, and it went in quite far. I actually have the screw as a souvenir. Here's the screw. This is the screw here. Okay, so around about that much of it, so the bottom half of my fingernail downwards, that was actually in my finger. So it was probably in around about 8 mil or so. So yeah, didn't go hospital. They wanted me to, I didn't. So I had to go back to the digs. It was about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. I had to go back to the accommodation, get it all dressed up properly, and then I had the rest of the day off. So again, I've just sat around, but now I'm sat around on my own, doing nothing. So we finally got out there on Friday. We didn't get finished because the weather was ridiculous and the wind was gusting a lot. And I mean a lot, to the point where solar panels, dangerous, could blow off the roof. So we called it, came home. Saturday, I finally done the brakes on the work van, although it was a lot harder job because they left so far. The piston broke in the caliper and I had to replace the whole caliper and then bleed all the system down, and finished at about 5 o'clock on Saturday night. And then yesterday, usual Sunday stuff. Now I was supposed to go and work back to Kent and away all week, so I packed my bag last night and everything. Very windy night, very windy, to the point that I got a text message at 4:30 in the morning saying, we're not going, we're going to go tomorrow. So lovely, I have a day off. Now, I didn't really plan to do anything, but one major thing I have to do is I have to sort the boiler out upstairs, because the pressure thing has been sorted. I've got to bleed the radiators, but the main thing is the hot water. We don't get much hot water unless the tap's on really, really low, and it's got considerably worse over time. So I decided to have a little Google around on YouTube, and I kind of think I know what I'm doing, so I'm going to be a boiler engineer today. I already have taken the boiler, I've like isolated it and depressurized the water and drained it and stuff. And I've taken out what I believe was the culprit, which is the heat exchange of the boiler. Now, I took it, I was going to clean it all out at home. I thought, no. So I just went and paid £2 at the local Tesco's garage and jet washed the hell out of it, so all like gunky, rusty water and black crap was flying out of it, and I think it's pretty clean now. So what I'm going to do is get this back in, screw it all back in, make sure it's that way up because there's arrows on it, and then I'm going to go, well, I'm not going to go, I'm going to get my friend who's working a couple of doors down, who is actually a plumber, and he's going to help me put it all back together. I make it sound like I was doing it on my own, didn't I? But I'm not, so I'm going to get on with that because it's 10:25. So put some tunes on, make a cup of tea, take this thing upstairs to the boiler. Not gonna lie, honestly, this is really, really awkward indeed. It's like trying to get in tiny little spaces with your big fat fingers, and it's not really working very well. But I've managed to get the heater the heater regulator thing, yeah, that thing. Managed to get it back in its place, which is right at the back, and turn it in and put its 2 screws in. Now I've got to try and get in there and do them up. It would be a lot easier if the boiler was on that wall and not that wall, and had more room to move backwards and forwards. But it's on this wall, not that one. Right, I believe I've put it back together right. I'm sure I have, because I haven't made a mistake. So I've just literally reversed what I've done, and there's no spare nuts and bolts and R-clips and stuff. So yeah, next step then is to get it put back together. Well, I've got to pressurise it, turn the taps and stuff on, and get the water flow going and bleed it and stuff, but I'm not quite prepared to do that on my own. So I'm going to check to see if my mate Russ across the road is in or not. I think he went out. It's raining. No, he's gone out. There's other work vans there, but his isn't, and his is most important. I need him. So do a bit of downtime then. Might even actually go in here and try and tidy the girl's bedroom up. I'm not doing that. It's supposed to be a day off, but I need to get this done because it's important, because I can't go another day without Emma having a nice hot shower, or my life won't be worth living. Yep. And just like that, it's done. Russ has been round and sorted the problem. I think it is actually fixed. Kind of, well, not gutted. I actually knew the steps of obviously turning the cold feed back on and doing that and airing it. I would have done it right, but I just wanted to make sure. But now I know what to do. But for the first time in a long time, I've just put this hot tap on in the kitchen on full blast. And wow, almost can't put my hand underneath it. We have been running this tap to do our washing up probably about that fast, just to run a bowl of water. Now I can run it really fast. So what we'll do now, take the opportunity to drain the whole system down, so go through, bleed down all the radiators. So what I'm going to do is attach onto the kitchen radiator with a hose pipe outside, and then I'm going to drain the system down, then I'm going to fill it back up, then I'm going to let it heat up, and I'm going to do it again, and then again, and again. I'm going to probably do it as many times as I can before 2 o'clock. That way then I've got time to make sure it's all working before I go and get the kids, because then I'll want to have a shower and test it and see if I can actually go back to the original of having a shower where it originally was when the boiler was installed, which was about halfway, not hot, like way up and right, you get what I mean. So I'm going to crack on and do that. Good potato. Right, that is cycle number 1 is done. All good. A lot of black crappy water out of there. So I'm going to close the valve and go back upstairs, refill the boiler and do number 2. Or is it number 3? I think I've done number 2 already. I don't know. Still, well, it's lunchtime. Not even had breakfast yet. I'll do this first. It's making a hell of a lot of noise. Obviously there's a lot of air in the system. It sounds like your stomach after a dodgy kebab or something, but it seems to be working well. I've got one more cycle that I'm going to do because I'm running out of time. Radiators are warming up nicely, and I'm going to have to bleed them out from the valves at the top because they can be better. But fingers crossed, I should be done and able to have a nice warm shower. Yeah, feeling proud. Feel like a boiler engineer. In the words of Jeremy Clarkson, I did a thing! I've done it! I mean, I can't wait to go in there, into that shower, because I've tested the hot water downstairs again. I've bled every single radiator in the house that I can get to, because I can't get to them all. And yeah, it's all hunky-dory, things settled down. Look, it's quiet, it's doing its job. It's doing exactly what it's supposed to be. So yeah, I'm going to get tied up. Obviously, I've got all this crap down here and crap in there that's got to go back in here. So I'm going to sort all that out, put the door back on, because I had to take the door off because it opens that way, and it's never mind, you don't need to know that. Right, so I'm going to do all this, and then I'm going to test out the shower. First good shower in about, well, obviously in this house I've had showers in digs and stuff, but first shower in this house where I'm going to actually enjoy a pressured hot shower. I need to turn this heating off though, it's absolutely boiling, 75 degrees. I have actually patted myself on the back, I really have. I'm really proud of being a boiler engineer for one day. With a little bit of help from YouTube and Russ, my friend next door but one. Well, he don't live next door but one, he lives up the street, but he's working next door but one. So what I'm going to do now is put my tools away, I'm going to get my shower cap and my bathrobe, and I'm going to go and give the shower a try. So thanks so much for watching, sorry about the wind if there's wind noise, and I shall see you in the next one, which will be more along the lines of what's going on in Avery's and incubation, getting ready and all that sort of stuff when spring finally kicks in. So yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye. Shower. Oh my word, that is amazing, man. Emma's going to be so pleased.